Hey, what's up everyone? This is Mike with HeadRush, and in this video we're unleashing the latest member of the HeadRush family, the HeadRush Gigboard. It's designed with a different player in mind, who still needs all the power, but the portability to toss this in a backpack and go directly to the gig. It still has the same internal quad-core processor and a full-colored 7-inch touchscreen interface, delivering all the power and ease of use you've come to know and expect from the HeadRush family. All right, so let's take a look at the layout of the Gigboard. So off to the left, we have our master volume control. This is going to adjust the volume for all the outputs on the Gigboard, which goes from 0 to 11, which is super rock and roll. And we also have a 360-degree encoder. This is great for scrolling throughout all the different blocks, making the selection, and even adjusting parameter values. On the bottom, we have 4 multi-purpose foot switches. These are very cool and very powerful. So let's just dive in from left to right and kind of take a look at what we're working with here. For number 1, we have the view. Now, if I hold this in, you're going to see that you have 4 different selections to choose from, starting with STOMP. With the STOMP selection, it's going to give you a layout of up to 4 different STOMP boxes or blocks or scenes or any variation of those, depending on how you choose to set that up. That's really cool, so you can design this personally to use it for your applications. If I back out of that, we also have a rig mode. And the rig mode is going to give you the names of each rig that is set up in succession for your set list, or just the order of all the rigs inside of the Gigboard. It's going to allow you to see where you're at and where you're going, what the next one in succession would be. And you can also scroll up or down with the previous bank or the next bank buttons off to the right. So that brings us to hybrid mode. In hybrid mode, you can select between STOMP boxes, scenes, or rigs across the 4 buttons. And lastly, we have our setlist mode. Setlist mode is a very powerful tool, especially if you're a giggy musician. You can set up all the different rigs that you need for the songs in your set and have access to them at your feet on all 4 buttons. On switch 2, you have hands-free mode. You do this just by holding in with your foot, and then it gives you access to all the different parameter values across every block in your rig. Here you can make minute adjustments or large adjustments, all in real time using your feet with buttons 1 and 2. You can go to the next parameter value just by touching button 3 or depressing button 3, or you can go to the next slot entirely by using switch 4. To exit out, just hold switch 4 and you're back into your rig. Button 3 gives you access to the looper. Here you can record a loop, add layers to your loop. You can increase and decrease the speed, multiply and divide the size of your loop, even reverse the audio once it's been rendered. Again, once you get the sound you're looking for, exit out and you're back into your rig. Last but not least, we have the switch 4. By holding in, you have access to your tuner. It's automatically going to mute your tuner by default, which is great if you're trying to tune your guitar during a live performance. But you can turn that feature on and off just by depressing switch 1. This is also where you'll find your tap tempo for all your delay and time-based effects. Let's take a look at the interface now. We have 11 blocks for all of your amps, heads, pedals. But we have 2 default blocks, the input and the output blocks. These are really important for gain staging. Let's take a look at these. If we double tap on the input block, you can see all your levels coming in. We also have some presets available that you could use for setting up your noise gate. Now, what's great about this is you can dial in your own presets and save them to your liking, so you can recall those at any given time. On the output block, it's similar, but it's gauging the levels out. This is especially important for recording. That way you're making sure that you're not redlining or pushing the signal way too hot when you're going into the DAW of your choice. All right, let's jump out of there. One thing that you'll notice on the new UI is how you're going to navigate through all the different parameter values. So I jumped into a head here, and you can see all the different parameter values laid out here, and you can make a selection using the touch screen and slide these along here, or you can use the multi-purpose jog wheel and navigate with this all the way through. So it's a really versatile way of setting this up. I like it personally. If I'm wanting to dial in something really tiny and minute, I'll use the jog wheel. If I want to grab something and slide it in a wide variance, I'll just touch the screen. All right, let's take a look at the back of the unit. Starting from left to right, we have our instrument input. To the right of that, we have an auxiliary in, which uses an 1/8 inch auxiliary jack. To the right of that, we have two expression pedal inputs. One is specifically for an expression pedal, while the other is for a switch. We also have two 1/4 inch outputs, left and a right, perfect for sending a mono signal or stereo effects. We also have an external amp out, which will allow you to change channels if you're interfacing with your own amplifier, which is really cool, and a headphone out so you can practice in silence. We have effects send and return, so you can incorporate your own pedals or rack gear, and MIDI in, out, and through, so you can use this to master or slave with any MIDI gear. We also have a USB port, which is perfect for using with a DAW of your choice or reamping. It's also great for sending and receiving all your information for firmware updates and saving your own personal presets to your computer. That's been an introduction to the HeadRush Gigboard. Thanks for watching.